presented by Hot Shot Secret. First class coming out from stock. 4x4 truck. Alright, our best four in this class. From Johnny Harlow, Justin Schultz, Untamed Horses out of Rockingham, Virginia. It's a Chevrolet. Alright, so Scotty, here's our test four. He will have the opportunity to make a pass. If he does not like that pass, he can turn it down. Come back again. Make a decision on the weight on the sled, depending on his pass. A lot of variables being the test four. We got green on the sled. The distance was Scotty, 256.99. He had her hooked up and cruising. Something in the front end let go up front on the transfer case or something. Not exactly sure what. But we had sparks and we had stopping. Alright, one from the track is Scotty is going to take that run. Alright, coming to the sled. These are the guys that really makes all this happen here at the Clark County Fairgrounds. This is Brad Warren. Truck called Cash Only Chevrolet out of Berryville, Virginia. We got a whole bunch of sponsors with the Pro Bowling Series. We need to thank. We'll get to each and every one of them as we go through. The title sponsor is Hot Shot Secret for the Pro Bowling Series. Diesel injector cleaner, the best diesel injector cleaner on the market. Also raising change diesel fuel. They have several products in their product line, all change performance diesel engines. Check them out at Hot Shot Secret. Alright, Kathy Jewell. A big block Chevy Tower Ram back in. Getting her all hooked up. on the modified 4x4 truck. First down the chute, truck called the Rock. Going to be coming out of Fort Plain, New York. That's a haul down here, 2009 Chevrolet. All right, the Rock coming out of the swing. I wonder if he's ever given the people his elbows in the competition. All right, Michael Adair. Hey, got the green light on the sled. And we kick off the 6,200-pound modified 4x4 truck. He is the test puller. He will be back out here for a second time. As test puller, he has that option. Okay, the officials have decided they are going to reset the sled. So our next puller up will be the test puller once again. He will have options. Just waiting at a Flint Hill, Virginia, a truck called the Rambler, 648 big block Chevrolet. All right, the Rambler. Coming at his into the sled. Scott II, you were requested at the interstate registration, the pickup truck. Wayne Scott II, please come over to the interstate registration pickup truck. I've been watching tow trucks since I was a teenager. Her and her husband have been a formidable team out of Birmingham, Pennsylvania. This Linda Ziegler in the Iron Butterfly All right, we got a green light on this way. The Iron Butterfly. It's Wednesday Swimmer. Just so slipping in the training there, it ain't acting right. And that big box sticking out there, it's not getting to the ground, that's for sure. 267.88 from Linda. 267.88. Automotive hardware is brought up. A&S, Lucas, Oil, and many more. If you need high-performance stuff, check it out. Summit, one of our sponsors, the Pro Tour League. And going out here now, this is a truck that I have watched for many years. I thought it was one of the coolest pulling trucks I'd ever seen. I still do. They call the truck Gone AWOL George Asher from Inwood, West Virginia. Again, as a teenager, this truck debuted, and I got to see it up the Truck Motorsports Park. George wasn't behind the wheel at that time, but this truck's been around for probably 35 to 40 years, and he told me on the pulls last year, he still has the original body that this thing was debuted with, hanging on the wall in his garage. 648 cubic inches of big block stuffed under the hood of that old Kaiser Jeep. Alright, got that snafu on the front. Situation normal. All fouled up. Let's see if he makes a good solid hook out here. This truck can get with it and get her done. It's been doing it for years. Got the housing bounced out of it. Trying to save some parts. 182.43 for it. Give me something around the front. This thing's beautiful. It's been around for a long time. I had the privilege to watch this and a super good pass up with Keystone Axles this year. Alright, Charmaine Clark coming out in the Snap-on Chevrolet from Cross Junction, Virginia. 632 cubic inches of big block Chevy at the hook right now. We got our winner. Winner, not a chicken header. It's a couple chicken headers, maybe. Coming to the hook, looking to the indicator's leg. John Dugan, truck called Damage Claim out of Martinsburg, West Virginia. It's got a Hemi in it, but it's got a big old Ford Hemi, 648 cubic inches of Ford Hemi. back in there. They got the green light on the sled. We're green, green, green. Let's see how much damage the damage plan can do. Coming up here out of White Post, Virginia, right down the street. Roger Townscott, the Tasmanian Terrier 2. Got a big old sunny Chevrolet Hemi. 649 cubic. And Atlantic Pro Polling is part of the National Pro Polling League. That is brought to you by Hot Shot. They offer exciting truck and tractor point action from past events on that site. Roger Townscott at the hood. Alright, we're green, green, green for the Tasmanian Terrier 2. West Virginia, driving a Chevrolet he calls the Mountain Mule. This cold weather is pretty bad. Those two trucks run some alcohol. With this cold weather, it's hard to get them up to temperature to run. Probably take down to that cold air. Mountain Mule had a little kick in it. 286.52, 286.52 for Dennis Rose. Alright, coming out of that, instead of Berryville, Virginia, got him a big old black Chevrolet he calls Black Onion. It's Wesley Keys. Still out front at 314. Roger Townscott, the Tasmanian Terrier. Holding the point right now at 314. We got some hammers coming out here. This truck here, this truck's a runner. I only saw it one time last year, but I knew that it runs over village average and runs pretty darn well all over the country. So it's quite capable. Alright, come look at the sled. Comes out of Hedgesville, West Virginia. Old Chevrolet with 650 cubic inch. Truck called Killing Time, Mr. Troy Nails. What a beautiful old truck. Coming up next, Glenn Dugan out of Bunkerville, West Virginia. He's driving a Ford. He calls the White Horse. All right, looks like we got green for the White Horse. That looks like a bucking bronco and not a White Horse, but decent run. Not the one he was looking for. 260.80. Coming here in a Chevrolet. We call High Anxiety. Coming out of Stanley, Virginia, Mr. Brian Graves. 650 cubic inch. Under the hood. Getting back into the sled, getting ready to get all hitched up here. Following Brian's run, we're going to bring the Rock back for his final run. I want to thank y'all for supporting this event tonight, coming out here. It's a little bit chilly, I know. Great to have you out here at the Clark County Fairgrounds. Don't forget about the work and food stand out there, the beer tent. $4 a beer, 3 for $10. That thing started going all wonky. I think there might have been an axle or something cut loose in it. Maybe the gear off. Confirmed, broken axle. They get to bounce something down like that, it's not hard to do. So right now, we got the Rock coming to the hook. Michael Adair, come all the way in here from Fort Plain, New York. 2009 Chevrolet. All right, we got a minute. We're going to give one more shout out to another one of our local sponsors here, Extreme Driver Incorporated, local business right here in this area. ExtremeDriver.com is their website. They were established in 2009. They manufacture various models of post driving equipment. I hear the thump of big diesels. Big old semi truck back there getting all wound up, warmed up. We got a green light on the sled for the Rock. Michael Adair, our last rookie in this class. And with the green thing. 254.91 for Mr. Adair. The driver of the black type Chevrolet, Wesley Steet, and his lovely wife. As you can tell, it takes a little bit to get ready for these big old semi-trucks. We've got to add some serious weight to the weight box to get them stopped. They'll be sitting in downtown Berryville if we don't get them hooked up right. And once again, on behalf of the merchants, we want to thank you for coming out and supporting this evening. I know it's gotten a little chilly since the sun's gone down, but the action's been pretty hot. And we appreciate you coming out and being here with us, helping the community, giving back. As you can see, a lot of improvements going on here at the fairgrounds. And it's events like this that help make that possible, your support of these events. I was told by the time the bleachers get done on the parking lot side over here, we'll be able to seat about 4,000 people. And that will enable them to bring some bigger events in here. Alright, looks like they're done moving around with the big loader. We're bringing out the first truck. And it's a big old Mack Superliner. Mr. Albert Brown out of Newmanstown, Pennsylvania. Truck he calls Mack in Black. Mack. I would venture to say that that probably has a V8 Mack in it. That's purely speculation, though, but sounds of it, it sounds like a V8 Mack. All right, Albert Brown. Everybody down by the finish line. Everybody down by the finish line. You need to get back. You need to get off to the side, get back. The green will not be dropped until you move away from the end of the pulling track. That is from the competition director. If you're down by the skid steer loader, you need to move either the sides or farther back, please. All right, next is the hook, Hank Oster, Salisbury, Pennsylvania. He calls the truck describer an international. We've already got our first score at 344.74. For Hank, 365.77. All right, next up, coming down here out of Willow Street, Pennsylvania, driving a Kenworth. He calls the truck nonsense. Mr. Tom Zimmerman. He's getting it all it has to come in here and stop setback course of letter E. 261.37, 261.37. All right, coming to the line. Out of Fleetwood, Pennsylvania, driving an 87 freight trader. The truck is called Inconvenience, and the driver's name is Mr. Jerry Martin. All right, I'll just correct it. Matt Hurst is driving this truck this evening. Gary's actually, I guess, the owner of the truck. But Matt's driving this evening. All right, here we go. Last of the big rigs. The brake shaker. Had to back out of it. 307.30. That is a good lift for a carrier to front in like that. 307.30. Still got the street gas trucks to go yet, and we got our two exhibition tractors heading down to town. I think they're first on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, they have to take some of the weight back off the sled for these lighter pickup trucks, so we're in the middle of shifting weight around again. Code 3. Pictures on that truck taken from actual scenes and so forth that he's been affiliated with in the fire department and EMS. So, pretty cool graphics on that truck. He is going to be our test puller. mile north for Berryville. Let's see if he takes that pole and tells me if the split is set. All right, what's on? Sled is set. He is keeping that pole. All right, coming out next, coming out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, Mr. Kenny Dugan will be your next puller to the sled. Mr. Kenny Dugan at the hook. All right, 305.92, 305.92 for Kenny Dugan. He's right up there with the cone, but he's about 4 feet short. All right, coming up next, coming out of Berryville, Virginia, it will be Jason Griffin. For Jason Griffin. Jamie Wright coming up the hook. Berryville, Virginia. He's back into the sled waiting for the track to clear. Alright, we got a new leader, 314.86. 314.86 for Jamie Wright. Good, solid run. Alright, your next competitor coming up to the split. That's kind of Berryville right here, downtown Berryville, Virginia. Distance for Donald Bongo, 290.02. Jumped right about the lift. Something in the booth, and he just fell out. I don't know. I'm going to apologize before I announce this next thing, because I'm probably not going to say it right. Super Jeffrey, out of Foothill, Virginia, is your next competitor. He's out there, 317.35. He is your new leader. All right, next coming up, coming out of Lorraine, Virginia, Mr. James Griffin. James cleaned that thing out. Let's see what that old girl can do. More power plant. second spot. 3:15.21. Good run. All right, backing into the sled, Ryan Vandenberg out of Martinsburg, West Virginia. Ryan Brandenburg. All right, we got green on the sled. We got green on the track. That's your road runner trying to kick it in there. 244.24. That's respectable for a truck. I got to give it to him. 244.24. All right, Charlie Gray is your next competitor. Out of Berryville, Virginia. All right, Charlie Gray. For the old guy, 238.08. All right, we got one more. We're running out of Martinsburg, West Virginia, coming in here to round out pickup. And then we got our two expedition vehicles. We've got two 10,000-pound hot farms. One John Deere and one 9600 Ford. $85.40 for your final player in the truck class. All right, we're down to our two exhibition vehicles. They're trying to get the Terminator geared up. All right, looks like we got the 9600 Ford of Chris Tangle Jr. coming out here for his exhibition run, 10,000-pound Pro Farm. That's a pretty good look down through there. 349.56. 349.56. All right, so we got one more machine getting ready to come to the head. Wes Dellinger on a tractor he calls shear pin. We're looking forward to spending the evening with y'all back up here again those two nights. Many of them are in the garden tractor pulling. May 9th and 10th, Berryville. They'll be pulling up there for 2 days. All right, they got Chris Tangle off the track. They got the John Deere hooked to the sled. And Wes Dellinger, 10,000 pounds post farm.